going, guys? This is Dr. David with SHARC Doc Talk. Got it right this time?
SHARC Doc Talk, yeah, baby.
It's me today with Dr. David and then also Dr. Nandi here.
In the house?
Yeah. Dr. Travis is he's just busy with family stuff and having to do everything that he needs to do on that end. So he's great. He's just busy. So we have to put out another podcast before
we do, for
it's
sure.
too late. So
exactly.
We're not too busy
too far
here.
behind.
Yep, 100%. But yeah. Before we get on, how was your week?
My week was good. Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday. I don't know when this is going to be put out, but it's Friday.
Anyway, it's Friday, and you can tell by the Aloha shirt. So my week was good, busy. I have a student at my the clinic I'm working at, at the other clinic I work at, and that's always fun. I enjoy teaching that way. It just kind of stimulates my brain to think more about why I'm doing what I'm doing rather than just doing what I'm doing because I know what I'm doing. That was convoluted.
I think we got you.
Yeah, and so it was good. We have a good 2 patients right now that are shoulder issues. Have actually 3, but the third one is a former baseball player. He plays in junior college right now. He played with my son.
Good old JUCO Bandits.
Growing up, and he for the second time dislocated his shoulder, his glove side though.
All right. What position does he play?
He plays shortstop, and both times he was diving up the middle for a ball and dislocated his shoulder. Had surgery the first time, failed. Had surgery the second time and came to see me. His dad, like I said, we've known them for since he was 6, basically 6-7 years old, and he's now 19. And so his dad called me a while ago and said he was going to kind of finding out where I was, and it's been neat. Been neat to go through a process like that because it's very structured with the surgeon's plan. But it's nice to see kind of his body just kind of come back to normal. And he says he's about 95%. But I would say the biggest thing was just kind of seeing, and I asked him about this, what was different about this time versus last time? And he said last time they just kind of threw exercises at me randomly. Yeah. And we didn't really follow a plan, so he couldn't really see how he was he couldn't really feel how he was progressing. Yeah. But having the plan of the doctor's protocol and then just doing things, with that, increasing weights, increasing reps, increasing hold times and things like that, really gave him a good understanding of where he was rehab-wise. So that was kind of nice. I'm getting ready to discharge him soon.
Well, that's fun. That's always a bitter's moment. But
it's good. It's really good. And then the 2 other patients I have are older. One is basically just finishing up because she kind of got the rest of her restriction, both end range restriction in their shoulders with a little bit of impingement syndrome. Okay. And again, being a clinical instructor is nice because I get to kind of talk back and forth with my student and see where her clinical reasoning is going. Yeah. And that always kind of, like I said, we don't necessarily go through the verbal process of talking through our clinical reasoning. We just kind of do it in our head. Yeah.
Definitely. I have a couple stories about that. It's because, even now, I would still say I'm so young into my career, right? And sometimes, my clinical reasoning makes 0 sense to me. But when a student asks me, they're like, that's, so genius. I don't know what you're talking about. And I sit there. I know. Yes, I knew.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, there's a lot of times where I'm like, my instincts feel like I need to do this, right? Based off of all the shoulders I've seen, low backs I've seen, necks, you name it, right? And then sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong, but at least it allows me to give myself a framework to go whether I need to change it or not change it. I think that's super cool to see. You mentioned something earlier in just that whole spiel that you were giving about failed surgery. What was that? What do you mean by a failed surgery on that one?
He redislocated his shoulder, so that the process of him going through the strengthening and the pain reduction and all of that stability for his shoulder joint didn't happen.
I see. So it was during the rehab parts, or was it just
he did he went through his rehab, but then he went back and was playing again, and that's when he dislocated it again.
I see.
So the goal is hopefully he won't dislocate it a third time.
Hey, might consider himself lucky if it's the third time. I'm
So,
kidding. Don't do that. We don't wish anyone that.
But he just started hitting again, and
that's fun.
I asked him, I think it was Wednesday I saw him, and he was, it feels like 95% compared to the other side.
That's great.
Yeah, so that's kind of exciting. And then the third patient I have, who is another shoulder patient. So, but going back to that kind of clinical reasoning with my student, she was talking over what she was feeling and what the patient was feeling, and I was like, okay, so if you're feeling some tightness in the back of the shoulder, what does that mean for you, and what would you do? Because I have to get used to the idea of not telling her what to do, but having her tell me what she wants to do, so she can talk through it and tell me her plan versus me just kind of spoon feeding her. And that's a challenge for me too, which I think is a good part of the whole aspect. And so. Watching her go through that process was good, but then watching the patient have no more restriction when she retested her shoulder motion was actually really cool.
That's fantastic.
So that was kind of neat.
That's fantastic.
And then the third patient with again some shoulder impingement, still. Some restriction and some discomfort at the end, but he is, again, probably about 80% better. And he's back at the gym. He's doing all the weights that he wants to do. He's got a little bit of pain, a little bit of restriction and tightness at the end of range. But he, again, going through that whole clinical reasoning part with her of, okay, so if this is what you see and this is what he's telling you, what do you want to do where do you want to go with that, and how are we going to get there? Right? And then some of it is, okay, I want her to tell me, but then she doesn't really know exactly what she wants to tell me, so I have to give her that little bit of like, okay, let's nudge you in this direction.
100%.
So.
Any students watching this right now, Nandi's a great person to go ask. I would say I'm okay to ask, mainly just because I realize that I can come off kind of dry, or I might over spoon feed you. So I'm still learning how to talk to students here. But I think the biggest thing that I learned as a clinical student was actually it's okay to say I don't know.
Absolutely, and that I think in any environment, I learned that. I learned that lesson when I was working with a friend of mine in food service as a waiter. And it was during college. And I had never really worked in a fine dining restaurant. Oh,
and this is fine dining. It wasn't just like a smaller restaurant,
no, it
family restaurant.
And it was it was a family restaurant, but it was fine dining, and it had like 15 tables, but it was like and my buddy was the waiter, and he, you only took out one plate in each hand. You didn't take out 4 plates on one arm. And you carried 2 glasses of whatever you're carrying, and he said, you know what? If a customer asks you a question and you don't know, don't try to BS your way through it, because they're going to see right through you. It's okay to say, I don't know. Let me go check.
That's definitely the step between going from like clinical reasoning and testing. You could kind of do all that. But clinical reasoning, no, you can't, because here's the thing, especially if you're a student watching, that patient's in front of you, there are no quote unquote right answers. There are right answers that you should kind of know and tests that you should know, but they are not going to give you the right answers if you continue to kind of beat your extra way through all of that. So,
exactly.
The best thing you can do is just be honest. Even for patients that when they talk to me, like, I don't necessarily always want you to tell me it feels good. Because that clicks in my brain with different clinical things at different times. So just tell me what's kind of going on. Don't BS that if you didn't do your exercises or not. just let me know what's going on. There are no right answers here. I just need to know. Funny enough, I've been telling that to my patients this week. If we want to get into my week, I've just told a lot of them, especially in like an intake, right? I definitely can tell with that they've seen other providers because they're using almost like choice type of words.
Ooh, I love that.
As in like, oh yeah, I have pain at 15 degrees to go reach X, Y, and Z. I'm like, okay, great. No one ever told you to talk like that. But I'm pretty sure you've seen that if you say this, that means they treat this. Say this, treat this. Or I love when they come in with their own diagnosis, which sometimes is right. Sometimes is very much right. But they say, it needs to be treated like this, this, and this. I'm like, okay, great. That's awesome. I love that you're interested in your injury, but what's going on?
Yeah.
Because that's almost like what I'm more concerned about, right? Like for me, technically, for my knee, you're gonna have a bunch of positive tests. As in, you're gonna get a positive meniscus type of test with like McMurray's. You probably get a positive Thessaly's with things, maybe a positive Lockman's for ACL stuff. Like I would be surprised, right? Hey, it's all gonna be there.
Yeah.
But how am I moving?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Right.
Those are the more important questions to ask. Anyways, that was a little soapbox on my end. I've had a lot of that this week. But yeah, in terms of patients, it's been pretty fun. I hate to call it same old, but we're at points where we're progressing certain patients in terms of different exercises and different plans of care, really. Obviously, it's always a little bit slower in January just because of January. You guys were just spending a bunch of money during Christmas.
Yeah,
So I totally understand.
Yeah.
And plus, insurances have switched over or whatever, all the weird funky stuff.
Deductibles renew, and you're ready to just not spend as much money right now.
We totally understand. We're human too, so
Yeah.
we get it. All that to say, I have this one patient, former semi-pro basketball player overseas, 2 ACL surgeries in the past, chondromalacia patella type of issues. He's always had knee pain, right?
Yeah.
And I'll say this much. He's at a point where the knee looks different, right? And his only options that he was given by his doctor were like, hey, you're going to have surgery, like a complete knee replacement at, I believe, like 32, 33.
Oh, wow.
Or you do physical therapy.
Yeah.
So he chose, let's go the active route, right?
Yeah.
Which I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Right? But there's also a limited amount of things that I'm able to do with that, just because, hey, we already have visual changes of like the bone's different.
Okay.
How we're tracking, you can tell it's different. But the wins, right? We're not always concerned about how it looks. We're concerned about what are we doing. Because if you were to look at my knee, nothing's there. But am I still squatting? Am I still deadlifting? Am I still doing things that I enjoy without much impediment of anything? Yes. Obviously, there's certain things that I just won't try right now. Like I probably won't go surfing. I can barely swim, so that's also why won't go surfing. I won't go snowboarding, and I might ease back on some of the basketball because I don't have certain things in my knee. But the fun part for this patient right now, our goal is to kind of get him back to a semblance of basketball. Right?
Okay.
Obviously, that's a very lofty goal. But so far, we've been able to get him to get to a light jog, no pain.
Nice.
Which is good. He used to have just walking around pain. Right?
Ooh, yeah.
Get to like some hops.
Okay.
No pain.
Okay.
So now we have to progress to like side to side, lateral, single leg. It's fun. So it's a collaborative journey together because he had a couple ideas, which I actually liked his ideas.
Oh, nice.
Took it, fit into his rehab programs, and we're kind of going off of that. So it's been really fun. Outside of that, a couple maintenance things for patients came in. Yeah, shoulder hurts, bench pressing, but otherwise we're good. Or woke up with a weird, really funky neck. That's been fun to deal with. So. Yeah, other than that, been pretty cool. You mentioned something a little earlier about like with the failing of the surgeries and improper exercises, having to take a bunch of different rabbit holes and different side streets to get where we want to get. You had a fun story about your son kind of doing the same thing, or at least offered to do different things, right? What were you and your son talking about here?
He is currently swimming at school. He is a sophomore in college now, and there is the opportunity for him to be a lifeguard.
Yeah.
And he dislocated his kneecap about 4 years ago.
Okay.
And his knee has kind of been, I mean, he's very strong as a 20-year-old, but his knee kind of bugs him here and there. And so he thought he would swim. And then the opportunity came at school for him to be a lifeguard. And so he was like, oh, I want to swim. So he went, and the lifeguard test is that he has to swim 12 laps in an Olympic-sized swimming pool without resting.
No rest.
No rest.
Just 12 laps.
Just 12 laps, which is feasible, and I think he can actually do it now.
Yeah.
But he's been pretty much swimming every day now, and just recently spoke to me about, and it's really great because he calls me pretty much every day now.
Oh,
so
that's
it's kind of nice.
That's great. Small win as a parent.
Yeah, totally. And recently he posed the question of, should I stop my leg routine in the gym?
That's a great question to ask.
Right? And I was like, interesting.
Well, before you go on, right, do you know what his leg routine is right now? Or is it just
He
a general
tends to
overview?
lift pretty heavy.
Yeah.
So he does squats. I know that it involves squats.
Okay.
I don't know
Yeah, like how many days and-
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know. I think it's probably twice a week.
Common. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how many different lifts he does. But he said he is swimming every day.
So for you guys, that's a fun question to ask. We'll get back into that later. But I don't want to cut you off. I'm just curious.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
So should he continue leg day? That's where we're
Yeah,
going.
he was curious for his recovery, for his goal of being able to swim and not be tired, and for possibly like overtraining his legs.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you could. There's two approaches to that. You could totally stop legs in the gym the whole time, or you could choose like a different way of utilizing your legs outside of the gym, or you could do 1 day a week and just kind of see how it plays.
Yeah.
Versus just totally stopping, because he is going to work his legs
A lot.
pretty severely with swimming that much
100%.
every day.
Yeah. Do you know how often he's swimming all the time every day? Is it always that 12 Olympic
I
size?
don't know if
Yeah.
he's doing that much
Okay.
every day, but he could be.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah.
There's like, obviously, we want to get as specific as possible.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why I'm asking all these questions, right? It's not we're antagonizing him. It's
No,
just
not at all.
how we operate as an office is like, yeah, we'll get people that do a lot.
Yeah.
Like a ton. Like I had 2 patients in a day that are training for a half Ironman.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, you can't necessarily say stop doing things.
Yeah,
We just have to modify a couple things, right? But yeah, that's kind of like where my brain goes for your son here. There's going to be a couple modifications that he may have to take, right? Not always, because I don't know the complete situation.
Right.
But more than likely, if he wants to continue training legs, I think that's a fantastic idea, especially as a lifeguard, right? He's going to be in the water, so he's not really subjective to things like gravity.
Right.
So functionally for him to be able to push weight under gravity with hopefully good form. We've had also this discussion off camera. With like good form and good reps and good strength, that is actually great for him because he's filling in his needs as a person. So where my brain goes is, yes, we could keep it in, but like you said, we might have to switch things up.
Right.
Well, you said hike as one of them.
Yeah, I suggested, maybe once or twice a week you go on a light hike for like 30 to 45 minutes, maybe an hour, just to kind of be on land and get himself kind of against gravity, but also just to kind of get away from the pool, and get away from the gym, because he's in a prime location where there's hills around him that are nice but not treacherous or daunting.
Yeah.
And he can do what he wants to do in the amount of time that he needs to do it.
And as a student, sometimes stepping away from that school environment a little bit, fantastic, right? Just for that mental reset.
And he is greatly appreciative of kind of the environment around him, so that's kind of
nice. It's good, right? But sometimes, like, hey, get away. Go touch grass.
Yes,
It's like
exactly.
my dad would say, go touch grass real quick. Yeah. He would see that I always study all the time. That was my fault, right? Good and bad, right? Yeah. But yeah, I also like to play with the idea of tonnage throughout the week. Meaning that, for those that don't know really tonnage is, basically if you kind of add up the days of your leg days, or we'll stick with leg days here. See how much weight you've moved throughout the week, and see if there's different ways to get the same number, but in a different rep scheme. So that way we're at least giving yourself some time to get some rest.
Okay.
So powerlifters will play with it a ton. Olympic weightlifters will play with it a ton. Strength and conditioning will play with it a ton too. So some ways, instead of saying like we're going to squat twice a week, we can still squat twice a week, but maybe one day is a little heavier, and then not a little heavier, like a lot heavier. Maybe you're going for a single or a double in terms of how many times you're going down for a squat. And your next day is more volume related, but at much lighter weight.
Yeah.
But when you do the math, it's the same as what you've been doing before. So
Right.
it's a different stimulus. Now, if we're introducing that with swimming, we have to take into consideration how long are the swims, how does he feel about the swims, all that jazz. Because funny enough, although strength related, it's a different energy system.
Yes,
right?
very different.
So we have to see how does he feel as an athlete as well. Right.
Right.
He is a lifeguard, so technically when we say athlete, it's not that he's competing in a sport, but he's doing athletic things.
Right.
And so we have to see where he is at too. Does the swim give him like mental relief? So do we take it away, or does it just add extra stress? So maybe we decrease the stress on one of the other squat days. So those are things that you can play with in terms of training, switching up your training. I like the whole hike idea too. You could, like you said, instead of going 2 days a week in terms of squatting, you could go 1 day a week, hike another day, and then you could go squat. So all of this to say is there are more right answers than wrong answers, because you can always play with it. Mainly because if you look at me and if you look at Nandi here, we're two different people. Technically, the squat is the same motion, but we're also have different experiences and different levers on how we do things, right? On the younger side, so maybe I'm a little bit more spry on certain things, but also at the same time, Nandi's probably going to kick my butt in the pool because I can't swim that well. So different things for different people based on their needs.
Right.
So it gets to the whole concept that we do as an office of we're very patient specific.
Yep.
So how I would treat Evan's son, actually not Evan's son, Evan is your son. How I would treat Evan versus how you would treat Evan is different, right? In terms of just the overall volume of doing things.
Right.
So you said a hike is one of them, but is there anything else that you would like want to add in or take away from his training cycles
in regards to his legs? You know, I'm always, as I get older, a proponent of more endurance.
I think that's underrated on some
with
stuff,
balance. So, you know, maybe going for, like you said, kind of the lighter load, still kind of achieving the same volume, but utilizing other positions like a Bulgarian squat or a single leg RDL or something like that. As well as maybe even, and that's where my brain goes to hiking is because it can be plyometric in its own way.
It can be, yeah.
Right? As well as kind of focusing on the eccentric control coming down. So those are the things that kind of run through my head when I think about those alternatives. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Mainly too because like it's easy.
Yeah.
It's an easy attainable thing.
Yeah.
Like if we went my route in terms of like, we're switching up training protocols, like I have to be a lot more hands-on on that one. Like the hike is a really easy substitution just for anyone.
Yeah.
And I hate to say minimal skill level, but minimal skill level.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're the severity or the difficulty of the hike level.
Like if we're going a free solo too. No, let's not do that. Speaking of that guy, insane. Have you seen that one?
Oh God, it was awesome.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
What building was that? It was
Taipei 101.
Yeah.
And I not to say that any one part was more amazing than the other because everything was like just off the charts, but the thing that really got me was him standing on the spire at the top of the building. Like I didn't think he was going to go all the way that high, and he went all the way to the top, stood on that, kept his balance while he's like taking a selfie and doing like this stuff around him up like I don't know how high is that. I don't even know. It was like 100 and something floors.
All I know is that I would describe it as too high. don't be up there.
It was like when he started climbing the spire, I'm like, okay. And then he grabbed onto the little bars around the little sphere on the top of the spire. I was like, all right. And then he stood up on it. I was like, oh, okay. You're going to, and like you could see it's visibly windy. Yeah. But he was like rock solid. It was amazing.
Yeah. That's super cool. I know we went on a tangent. Doc T would be so proud. But yeah, I triggered it myself. That's my fault.
Yeah, no, it's a good tangent, man. It was good.
Great tangent.
It was a good thing to see. Because I had seen the documentary Free Solo. Yeah. And coming from that whole kind of idea of ADHD or ADD, was pretty impressive watching that.
Focus. It's so cool.
He's like, it's what makes me focus the most. It's like, you better be focused.
Because if not,
you're falling.
You're dying. Yeah. It's not even just a fall. That's a high drop.
Yeah.
I almost said fall high. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
But high fall. Yeah. But yeah, in terms of like what I would do in terms of like switching up training too, one thing that I've always considered, especially if he's really into like lifting heavy, is have some version of a deload week.
Okay, and what does that mean?
So basically I know not everyone subscribes to the way of thinking, which I totally understand because not everyone trains extremely hard where you'd need to pull back a little bit, but sometimes it's even just for the mental part. So what I mean by that is within every, we'll just call it 6 weeks. Right?
Okay.
6 weeks, you could argue 4, you could argue 5, you could argue 6. At any time past a month and a half, right? You just take a week that's a little lighter than everything else with less volume, less sets, less overall intensity, just to let the body calm down, both for your physical health and also just for the mental health of it all. Because there's also been times, as you've seen, when I'm lifting heavy and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, dang, I have to do this again. Like, now do that multiple times throughout a year, right?
Yeah.
Or multiple times throughout a training block of like 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah, you're going to be mentally spent. Your son's a student, right? So not only does he have school, but he also has the opportunity to be a lifeguard, but also is training hard. There's just going to be weeks, especially around finals or midterms or whatever it is, where things just get really hard, right? Maybe that's your week to just pull back. You're still going to the gym,
Right.
but you're doing much less. You're still getting some of the reps in, but the difficulty won't be like a 9 out of 10 that week. Maybe it's a 5 out of 10.
Right.
Just so you feel something, right?
Right.
That's something that I've also played with a couple of my athletes. Like my high rocks one that I take care of quite often. There'll be weeks where we're pushing really hard. Right now we're trying to ramp up to peak within 2 months. So we're like really starting on a lot of stuff. But that week or two before, because I know she works with a trainer, I'm pulling back a lot because I don't need to add extra stress to her.
Right.
It's kind of the same thing with just general fitness. Sometimes you just need to pull back, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, I like the idea of kind of his mental aspect. What does lifting weights at the gym give him versus what the swimming gives him?
Yeah.
Mentally, because that's a big aspect. And I know that he really enjoys lifting in the gym.
Yeah.
So I'll talk to him about the idea of kind of deloading his squat, but still keeping it in there.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's always funny when we talk about a deload, because I remember the first time I ever did a deload, I'm like, this is stupid. Like, why am I in the gym to squat like half of what I can, right?
Yeah.
But the next week felt fantastic,
Yes.
right? I was ready to go. And
Yeah.
that's really what my coach was looking at that point.
Right.
Was we're not looking at today as in we need today to put up this number right now. We're looking at you 6 weeks down the road when you really want to hit, we'll just put a stupid number out there, like 1,000 pounds on a squat.
Yes.
I can't 1,000 pound squat. It would be really cool. Don't think it's ever going to happen in my lifetime. But to do that, that's the goal that we're looking for.
Right.
So maybe right now we just take a couple days off, maybe even a week off in an active way. You can continually training, but not as hard. So that way mentally you can chill, physically you can chill.
Right.
So we can attack this harder the next time.
Right.
Yeah. So even for him, he's swimming a ton, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't swim, but maybe one day, maybe it might not be the 12th. Maybe it might be the 6th.
Right.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Or even it could be the 12, but at a pace of like, oh, this is fun. Right?
Yeah.
The fun pace rather than like pushing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and associate that deloading more with the swimming versus. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it works across the board.
Right.
I see runners do it. I mean, runners are so foreign to me. Right? But I see them do it in different ways.
Right.
Whether they're breaking up into like Tabata style of runs or like shuttle runs rather than just going out and running like 13 miles that day.
Yeah.
Sometimes they are running 13 miles, but at a very leisurely pace.
Right. Right.
Different zones of cardio. Like,
Right.
there's so many things that you can play with.
Yeah, that is interesting. And we've been exploring his metric gathering.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about that one?
Oh my goodness, dude. He is all over the data. He loves data.
Okay. Well, you were looking at specific tools for that, right?
Yeah.
So I'll let you have the floor
Yeah,
on this one.
he stole my he didn't steal it, but he
stole it.
He took my my Garmin watch so that he could gather, just kind of see what's going on with his heart rate and everything. And unfortunately, during the swim portion on that specific model, it doesn't calculate heart rate. It calculates it in a way what they call SWOLF, which is an efficiency. It's a swim efficiency, and it gives you numbers. And I think a lower one is really good.
Yeah.
But then he really wanted another, so we got him another model. And parenting wise, I would say we talked about it, and a Garmin watch is not cheap. So I told him, look, this is what I'm willing to pay on my end, and you can make up the difference. He was more than willing for that. So I was good. I was glad for that.
Yeah.
So he got his watch, and he's been using it now pretty much every day. It calculates. He's like, "What's PO2, PSO2?" And I'm like, "That's your blood saturation, and that we want that to be really high." He's like, "Yeah, mine's like at 98." I'm like, "Yeah, that's perfect.
So that's what it should be."
Yeah, exactly. That means you're healthy and you're breathing.
Yep.
And then, but it also has like an HRV, and
that's cool.
And it's broken down into this other metric. HRV breaks down into his VO2 max is on there.
Interesting.
He can test that.
Interesting without the actual. Never mind.
We
could go down the whole rabbit hole here.
Yeah. And then, body battery. He loves body battery. Like, he's still exactly right. So if you think of your body as a battery, when it's fully charged, you should have the energy to do what you want to do. But after you do something like swimming, hiking, lifting weights, your battery is going to be lower.
Huh.
And so he called me the other day after his swim, and he's like, "Yeah, Dad, my body battery's at 7." I'm like, "Okay, I don't know really what that means because
me neither.
7 out of 10, 7 out of 100, I don't know."
Yeah.
And so so that's another metric that he's kind of discovered.
Well, this is a fun tangent we could actually kind of go on here to spend more time. Metrics, right?
Yeah.
Are they important? Are they not important? What are your thoughts on them?
I think if you are training, I think they're fun to have.
Yeah.
I think they make activity a little bit more. They allow you to buy in a little bit more. I think that's how I feel about it. And I think they're super valuable if you are training for a specific reason or at a pretty high level.
Yeah.
Like I could train for a marathon and my VO2 max would make no big deal.
No big change, yeah.
Because I'm not training for the Olympics.
Yeah.
Now, if I was an Olympic marathoner, then my VO2 max would be
very important to know.
Very important metric to know. So I think that they can be utilized for motivation and performance.
100%.
I don't know. What's your opinion about the metrics?
I think we get into a trap of trying to define ourselves by our metric, right? But I also love the metric because it gives you an idea of what to do next. So what I mean with all the spiel that I just said, because I got really philosophical really fast, it's the metrics are only good if you know how to use them correctly.
Yeah, if you know how to interpret them for your body or sport or whatever you're applying them to. Yeah, I agree.
The easiest one to kind of look at, just for the general population, is like, we start talking about BMI, like what's a healthy BMI.
Oh, goodness. He threw that one out, and I was like, dude, don't even look at BMI right now. Because you're going to be obese.
Yeah, it's like, funny enough, right now, with where I sit, and you're looking at me right now, I qualify right now as overweight.
Oh, yeah. I'm very overweight.
Yeah. I think last time I checked, I was like, I should probably fix this. It said obese, and I just started laughing. I'm like, it kind of makes sense. I'm a shorter guy, a little wider. Yeah. But anyways, back to what I was saying here is like, yes, BMI is a number, right?
Yes.
But if you're going to define what your body is and how healthy it is based off of BMI alone, that's the clue alone, then we're kind of wrong. If we just want to go general things to kind of look at, another fun thing that you can look at is waist to hip ratio with BMI. So you could be a certain weight and certain height, but if your measurements are really wide in the midsection and as compared to your hip, then maybe we have problems. If it's a fantastic waist to hip ratio where it looks normal, then then maybe I wouldn't say ignore BMI, but that's just something else that we use as a better interpretation.
Yeah.
So context matters of
Yeah.
this all. Like for me, my VO2 actually might be pretty bad because I am a power type of athlete, right?
Yeah.
But is that something that I should care about? Slightly, but not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Because I'm not
You're not
going long
doing
distance.
you're not doing an endurance activity.
Yeah, 100%.
You're doing an absolute power activity.
Yeah, I'm looking at how much output could I go
Yeah.
at one time. So
Yeah.
in terms of metrics, I'm a fan if you take them over time and see the changes.
Yeah.
And if you want to get really nerdy, so you plug it into an Excel sheet, kind of see the graphs, and kind of go from there.
Oh yeah.
That could be really fun, actually.
Well, that's like the scale you have. I like that scale because it gives you a ton of different metrics, and it graphs it out over time, and it's fun.
So even like when you want to ask about like the whole accuracy of this, is this actually 175 pounds or 180 pounds?
Yes.
Or 5% body fat, whatever it says on there, right?
Yeah.
I understand where you're going with that because you want the most accurate measurement, but really what I'm more concerned about is the consistency over time.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Like what does this look like in a month, right?
Right.
That's more important.
Yeah.
And you've measured every single day. I get that.
Yeah.
Because one-time measurement, we're humans, right?
Yep.
I've definitely measured wrong a couple times.
Yeah, most definitely. And so he's really bought into all of that, and I think, like you said again, how is it applicable and is it motivating? What was the other one? We talked about BMI.
I think I said waist to hip ratio.
Yes, no, but it was body age.
Body age, that one. That one's fun. I don't know how I feel about it. It's like, is there physiological age where they can take blood and kind of know what's going on?
It was just, I did it for me too because of the scale, and it said that I'm 56, so it said I think I was at like 54 or 53, which was good.
That's good.
Right?
That's good.
Evan is 20, his was 18.
Yeah, it's 20. It's right there.
It's like at a 20-year-old, I was like, dude, you don't even need to worry about that.
Yeah.
As well as your BMI, you don't even need to worry about that.
Because I'm going to say this. This is going to get real controversial on the camera right now. For the people that Garmin markets to, right?
Yes.
For the most part, you're probably going to be the age within 5 to 10 years of what you are on the watch.
Yeah.
Because you're active.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So here's a fun little thing, right? A fun little tangent. I saw one study on this. It's kind of related, but not, right? We talked about all these numbers. Like we talked about sitting versus standing all the time, right? Like if you're sitting for 8 hours, it's not necessarily recommended. But the fun part that I saw on it, you know what reverses that a little bit? 1 hour of exercise.
Oh, only an hour.
Only an hour of just moderate exercise. And this isn't like, I'm not even saying this like just go out and walk. I'm putting the gate so low for you just to go do something for an hour. So
Continuously.
that's where I have to read the study a little bit more. It just said an hour worth of moderate exercise per day.
An hour worth of moderate exercise.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. So
I would say that
the biggest thing with that,
a
like,
lot of us could definitely use an hour.
Yeah. So even if I started talking about tonnage and different approaches, at the heart of it all, if the hike is an hour,
Yeah.
cool.
Go do it.
Go do it.
Go
right?
hike.
Go hike.
Yeah.
Go swim. Go do something.
For an hour.
That's all I care
Yeah.
about, right?
Yeah. No, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah. I get nerdy about all the other stuff because, I mean, part of it's our job, right?
Yeah.
We
No,
know
I
about it.
agree.
So we can talk about biomechanics. We can talk about strength scales the entire time, right?
And I think that really ties into
Yeah.
kind of what we've been talking about
Yeah.
recently in regards to like recovery and just getting, it's just, are we doing the most basic things to help us
100%.
be healthier?
Yeah.
Are we moving? Are we eating correctly? Are we getting enough sleep? And are we hydrating?
Yeah. So like that'd be a fun one to check for like the age of the athlete.
Yes.
The body age is like, hey, if we have someone like Evan's age, right, that is just living a college life, right, out there partying, studying, staying up too late, what that age would be. I'm curious.
Yeah,
right?
that would be interesting because the difference between most of his classmates are, you know, in that 18 to 25-year-old group or 18 to 23. What if they were 30?
Yeah. What?
As a
What if-
20-year-old?
Yeah. To me, that's not a great sign, right?
It's not a great sign, but is it like
Yeah.
the difference? And then you have to kind of say, okay, how is that different from me who's 56? And what if my age was 65?
Yeah. I would say those are both not great. You at 65 and you at 55, completely different.
Yeah, very different.
Very different.
And hopefully when I'm 65, I will have a 55-year-old body.
Yeah. And that's always the goal. Obviously, you can't get back to 20. Right?
No.
That's not how it works.
Nope.
If it was, we wouldn't have jobs, or our job approach would be different.
Yeah.
But to almost like wrap it up in a certain way here, I have one patient, right? I'm going to bring this back with a story. This is great. She is in her 70s, right? Came up to me and says, I want to continue powerlifting. Oh, this is great.
That's
right?
awesome.
And that was like music to my ears.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
My eyes lit up. Had so much fun. I wrote like one training block out. We're trying it out together. So great.
How cool.
But the fact that she's able to deadlift, squat, and bench at her age, right? Like her 70s. Right?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
That is fantastic. I know most people around like 60-ish, they'll look at weight and kind of say, I don't need anything else, right? Obviously, I'm not trying to push PR numbers on her right
Sure,
now.
not
It's
at
more
all.
of just like, hey,
No, just
we're continuing something that people stop doing,
yes.
which is sometimes just basic strength.
Yep.
And the biggest predictor for her age of like just overall longevity is decreased falls. How do we decrease falls?
Oh yeah.
Strength.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. So even going back to like your Bulgarians and everything like that, I tie those in all the time.
Yeah.
To her, because I know for her benefit to stop some osteoporosis, to stop some levels of just fragility and just loss of balances, we just need to move.
Yeah.
And for her, she loves powerlifting.
That's
right?
awesome.
So we tie it back in.
That's great.
But we have to change different training
Yeah,
facilities and everything.
obviously.
She likes other stuff.
Right.
But yeah, that's a fun little story that I have
That's
from
awesome.
the week. Yeah, so it's been fun.
Good.
I have to actually pull her back more. I'm the
She's like, David, come on.
Yeah.
Put another plate on there.
He knows that. I'm like, yeah, you can do more. So I'll throw more weight than what you were expecting. But her, I'm like, okay, maybe we don't do the 25s today. Maybe we pull back a little bit.
That's good.
But it's fun. But
That's
yeah,
great.
Have anything else to add here?
I think that's it. That's a great way to end.
Yeah.
I'm pleased with that.
Yeah.
I love that story,
Yes.
man.
So all of this to say, right? We're taking 2 steps back in terms of like, do you continue to train legs when you are training for a swimming type of event? Or even just
you know, and I think to wrap that up,
yeah.
the best way to train something is to, the best way to get better at something is to train that actual activity.
Yes.
Right? You're not going to get better at running if you bike.
Yeah.
You may get a little bit better, but you're not gonna. Your body's not gonna.
100% to get better at running
And
or swimming or whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
But I as a health nut and healthcare practitioner and someone who grew up lifting weights, I think lifting weights is always something that's beneficial for the body. But again, it just goes back to kind of regulating it with the activity that you're training for.
And just to give more clarity, you basically, I think you summed it up great. It's like, let's kind of take a step back and see what your goal is, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you want to, your goal is, in all honesty, just to continue to train legs, then we'll throw in a little bit more. If it's just to get better at swimming and you don't necessarily care about training legs all the time, maybe we take it out a little bit, or it's still there, but just much less.
Yeah.
Or if your goal is completely different than those two, why are we doing those two? Is the question.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think think the focus on the goal and what is the achievement of the activity is huge, because then it gives, like you said, a lot more clarity to what the process can be. And I feel like if we have more clarity, we're going to have a little bit more fun. We're going to enjoy it more, and we're going to get to that goal a lot quicker.
Yeah, there's always more comfort and more kindness on the practitioner and on the patient's level with clarity.
Yeah.
So the more you tell us what you want to do, the easier it is for us to make something you like doing, but also add in like your vegetables, as I like to call them, add them in. So that way you can continue to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
That's always been our goal. So we're never going to say stop it. We're going to more sidestep it so you could go back to it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I got nothing left. I felt like we ended
That
up.
was good. No, I
good
think
there.
that was really good.
Yeah, I felt like that was a motivational / like preaching type of thing. It was just great. It was great. Well, I guess we'll see you next time. This
Next
is
time.
Whatever that is.
Yeah.
Hopefully Doc T's on this next one here, right?
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah.
Have him back.
Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back for sure. It'll be fun. So if you like our setups here, we've been playing around with different ones.
Yeah.
We thought
let us know. Comment down below.
Yeah.
Can we say that?
Yeah, we can comment it. Yeah, we can say it. Comment down below. Leave a comment. Leave us a message of some sort.
Yeah,
You know?
leave us a comment.
Yeah. We were playing with this one. We wanted to use the
Thumbs
other one.
up, like it.
Yeah, we
all-
wanted to
all
use
the
the
good
other one for
stuff?
sure, though, but it looks like Alvin has to work, unfortunately.
I know, man. What's up with that?
I know. Well, look at us on a Friday not working. No, we did work. We just ended early. So
Yeah, so
that's
it was
what
good. Yeah, we got it in.
Yeah. So I'm Dr. David.
Yep, Nandi Sundaram here.
And then this is Shark Doc Talk. See you guys.
Ooh, nice.
I almost clicked the wrong button.